CreativeSmoothie.com. Boost your creativity.
Hey guys, John here again from CreativeSmoothie.com. We help you boost your creativity and create impactful experiences. I'm here with Tammy Yiu.
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey.
What's up? And Tammy is a designer. She's worked in marketing, and now she's actually starting a new business called Partial.
Yeah.
Where are we, Tammy?
We are currently in Northern Contemporary, which is a gallery in Parkdale, Toronto.
Okay.
Good neighborhood to be in.
Parkdale, Queen Street.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, so it's cool. It's a great space that's run by another creative person, a photographer and illustrator. But yeah, we've just rented the space from them today to put on this little gallery show.
And today is a big day for you and your colleagues. What's happening today?
So today we are launching Partial, which is a new startup venture that we've kind of been thinking about for a couple of years. And the whole idea is to not just like showcase great art by Toronto artists, a couple of other Canadian artists like from Ottawa and so forth, but to also present opportunities for people like you or myself to rent that art for our homes.
Interesting. So Partial is, if I want to rent a piece of art, this would be an easier way for me to discover art from different independent artists who normally I wouldn't get a chance to see their work or even know that they existed. What you've created here at Partial is a way for me to see different forms of art and maybe rent them.
Yeah, I mean, like myself, I don't come from a fine art gallery background, but I mean, growing up, I've always been interested in art and been creative, been a graphic designer, like creative director for a fashion brand, so on and so forth. But I've never been a fine artist myself. I have friends who are artists, and you know, thanks to that, I've been exposed to sort of what they go through in terms of trying to make a living, like by selling art and that sort of thing.
Okay.
So I see like the disconnect between myself who wants art, but I don't necessarily always want to just go to a big box store to buy this sort of stuff. And then I see all this amazing stuff in my artist friends' studios and homes. That's kind of just sitting there waiting to be sold or waiting to be put in a gallery. And I felt like art fundamentally is made for people, and it's made to like elicit, I don't know, like emotions and everyone. There's something out there for everyone if people only just were exposed to it. So there was that disconnect between not having access to it.
So your friends put you up to this, is what you're saying?
No.
Your friends pushed you into this?
No, just like,
No.
you're struggling, but why?
So you're basically helping to get art out of the studios and into galleries like this, maybe even online in the future so that people can actually see it. Tell me, like for those of us who don't know much about art, I'm a bit of an artistic newbie. I have never rented a piece of art before. You know, I used to buy my art from IKEA. I apologize. But when I first started out, but now I'm more interested in what can art do for us in terms of creativity?
Right.
Why would somebody want to rent a piece of art or introduce a new piece of art into your home?
Yeah. Well, I mean, going back to the whole IKEA thing, during my research, what was one of the most striking...
Don't tell anybody about that, by the way. I'm embarrassed.
No, but it's very common. You're not the only one, because IKEA is actually the world's largest art distributor.
You're kidding me.
Which is crazy, but it makes sense, right? Like
that's the big box thing that you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, because all of us have been students, even myself. I mean, I love interiors, and you know, we're of that apartment therapy, Etsy generation. So I mean, it's always nice to think about how to make your space yours. But yeah, the easy solution has always been to say go to HomeSense and IKEA, and all that stuff is great for what it is. But you know, just to give people another option, because there are so many different varieties. So like here in this show, we just have 20 artists, but even just like looking around, you can see there's quite a variety. But it's all, in my opinion, like great stuff.
I didn't see anything like this at IKEA, guys. No.
Yeah, so like a lot of these Toronto artists, and this is all original stuff too. It's not just prints, and you know, prints you can also find, but
this is real.
This is real. This is like oil on canvas,
somebody
acrylic,
made this. Good.
Wood. Yeah, someone slaved away for hours doing it, and we've priced it at what is actually quite reasonable. So everything's between $25 to $100 a month.
Kidding me?
Yeah.
Okay, wow.
Yeah. So I mean,
definitely accessible.
Yeah. Yeah, even if
I'm not a Bay Street banker, I can rent art.
But I mean, I think that's the other thing is like
anybody can do it.
Traditionally speaking, you know, there was the fine art category, which was for high rollers, is still for high rollers. It's more like an investment thing, banking on big names and things like that. But there are so many incredibly talented artists in Toronto that can produce just as great, if not, you know, in my opinion, even better work than what is kind of high value, like slashy type stuff.
Got it.
So yeah, and I think for a lot of people, like maybe yourself or myself or my colleagues and friends, it doesn't really matter whose name is attached to the work, but there's something cool about like, hey, knowing like, for example, Gwynne, who's like an artist who's just back there right now. Like I know that, yeah.
Hey Gwynne.
Oh, hey Gwynne.
Just waving at Gwynne now. Okay. There he is. Hello.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah, like to know, I mean, I met Gwynne just this past year, and yeah,
Join us, Gwynne, for a moment.
Join us. Yeah.
How's it going? Gwynne is one of the artists who has worked on a piece of art that's being displayed here at the Partial.
Yeah.
Alright, so continue.
Yeah, but it was, for me, what I like, and if I were to have like Gwynne's piece in my home, it's nice to know who was behind it, knowing that he's in Toronto and you're out in the beaches.
Correct.
Yeah, and even you're
real.
You're real. And even your story of how you came to like start making art like this. Like,
Gwynne, let's take a look at your piece. Why don't you give us?
Okay. Yeah.
Give us. So this is it.
This is a 2015 piece, and I did 4 paintings: spring, autumn, summer, and winter. Spring didn't work out. Okay, so I exhibited 3 last year. This is summer, autumn, and winter sold. This hasn't sold yet, but I changed the colours in it for this show here.
Oh, lovely.
So this is the kind of style that I have. I like to do still kind of paintings, only primary colours, only straight lines, usually with block kinds of shapes, and that's how I do things.
Let's get a nice close-up of this. This is your painting.
Yep.
It's called
Summer.
Summer. Absolutely. I love this, Gwynne. I'm actually more of a minimalist myself. So I love the simplicity of this. I feel calm already.
Thank you.
You can skip yoga class tonight because I've seen this.
And well, that's the thing. It's like this could be in your house, which is, I think, I mean, I like going to gallery openings and things like that, but it's always been this isolated experience of I'm going to an art show and I'll see that art and then leave and then it's over. But I think people don't realize that they could have something like this in your home, and yeah, every day we can be like, yes, well done.
Gwynne, tell us a bit like how did it feel as an artist? And you were telling us earlier that you started off in your creative journey a little bit later than most painters, but
yeah, it almost didn't happen.
It almost didn't happen, but it did, and you're here. How would it feel to you? Like, what does it mean, the opportunity to have your piece that you've worked on and you've perfected to as much as you could in someone else's home, either temporary or?
It's awesome. I didn't start painting until I was 60, and I went to an art show one day with a good friend of mine, an international art show in Toronto. And as we were walking around, I looked at one particular artist and I said, I'm going to paint. That's how I started. And I was just telling the guy a bit of art. I was at a house the other day in Rosedale, and I didn't know the people, and I walked in, and there was one of my paintings on the wall. I didn't say anything. And I just looked at it, okay, and it's nice when that happens. Very nice.
How would it feel if I told you that people could be inspired by your work?
Great.
You can look at it and suddenly create their own paintings or their own stories.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah, that's awesome.
Thank you very much, Gwynne.
You're welcome.
Gwynne, thank you for
Gwynne.
Yes.
Round of applause.
All right, cheers. So Tammy, show us maybe one more. What's your favorite piece? What's your favorite piece here?
It's so hard because
What inspires you? Is there a piece here that really speaks to you? You can show
I'm
us.
trying to think here. Okay. Okay, there are a handful. Maybe I'll touch on a couple really quickly. Okay, so
Show us
so this artist, Jonka, I really like her. So I met her last year as well, but she does masterpieces.
Okay.
And she basically takes like famous historical paintings, but she's updated them herself by putting in costumes by Alexander McQueen.
So this looks vaguely familiar to me, but there's something
Yeah.
different about it. What is
So she's added in this like skulls.
it? So show us to the camera.
Oh yeah. So here. So this is traditionally the famous one is the girl with the pearl earring, but what she's done, because she's a really enthusiastic fashionista, she's a costume designer for sets and things like that.
Wow.
But Alexander McQueen, who's obviously an amazing British fashion designer, has a few like really great fashion outfits, and so she's injected those into more.
Let's take a look at this one. This one looks interesting.
Yeah.
What's the original of this? I don't recognize it.
Yeah, this one is
Wow.
Bronzino. So she's done all of this with a pencil, and it's really interesting. So her.
This is like a sketch.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So I mean, I because I'm into fashion, this obviously speaks to me a bit, and I like the historical aspect of it as well, kind of an old world art vibe.
Yes.
Another one that I really like is David Holden's. So he does more like oil paintings, but they have this kind of cool pop vibe. So
Like a 60s ad, I think, eh?
yeah, and so what's interesting about this, and see, this is also something that you wouldn't necessarily get from a big box painting, is the story behind this is he's taken his friends, he's from Montreal originally, so he's turned his Montreal childhood friends into vintage baseball cards, which is kind
Incredible.
of,
This Blair guy
yeah, so,
is actually his friend.
yeah, so I think like stories like
That's
that,
cool.
I think make it, you know, and also when it's in your home, it's like a conversation piece, you're not just like, cool landscape, but
IKEA.
yeah.
I like it. Every piece has a story behind it.
Yeah, and then the other one, I mean, I love Gwynne's as well, but Mike Schnell's, his is really cool. So when you see this piece, it's really like fun and poppy, but in reality, he's like a very soft-spoken, quiet guy. But yeah, I love the colors.
It's making me dizzy. It's making me dizzy.
Yeah, so I mean, those are the ones in this room that I really love. And I mean, see, I could go on. I'm starting to like go on, like, oh, I love Steve's as well.
Maybe next episode.
Yeah, sorry.
So now, so tell us, Tammy, what renting a new piece of art from an interesting indie artist, local artist in this case, what will it do for people? Like, will it inspire them? Is this for dinner parties? Like, give us a sense of why.
Well, okay, so as I was saying, like in December when I started doing a lot more research, one of the things that I did as part of the process was, I mean, I think it's a good idea, but I think a lot of things are good ideas and a lot of people don't. But in this particular case, I did like a survey among 100 people in the city just to kind of gauge whether I was on the right track.
Got data to support this, folks.
Yes, and I mean that's also thanks to a couple of friends who are in the startup world that have been mentoring me on this. Yeah, because I'm usually like trigger finger, hey, bad idea, I'm gonna just do this. But I have learned during this process, like research and data can really shape the direction of where it's going. So actually one of the questions that I had asked was for people, what is the most important aspect of art to you? And I had things like, oh, it's like a prestige thing, multiple choice, it's a good financial investment, I don't know, I just need something on my walls. But overwhelmingly, the response was because it allows me to express myself, which I was actually really surprised about because that's a very like idealistic way of thinking of art. But I was like, yeah, that's fundamentally what art is for. Like the reason why art is art, because it doesn't just give you, like you can satisfy other needs in other ways, but there's something about art that
Fine.
Yes, there's something about that you know satisfies people emotionally. As a way of expressing yourself. And sure, you can talk about it with your friends, but yeah, like there's probably satisfaction in you like waking up and looking at something.
I chose this.
Yeah.
Is
and
it?
You're like, and what does it say about me? And
is choosing a piece of art, such as looking at a gallery like this at Partial, and picking something that speaks to you, would you say that is someone expressing their creativity?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Like, and actually that's kind of a really interesting way of thinking about it. I mean, like the idea with Partial is in a sense kind of like the sharing economy, you know, like you're borrowing something for a few months. You know, maybe you choose to buy it outright in the end, but like, you know, you're sharing it and maybe it'll pass on to someone else and that's it. But the idea that, okay, an artist created something that they felt something for, and then now they're even sharing that emotion with you. I mean, I know it's a very like cheesy way of looking at it.
I feel connected to Gwynne already.
Yeah,
Exactly.
It's
just
the
after
connection
meeting him.
thing. And there's something, I mean, part of my research as well, for artists, that's one of their most driving forces of why they do art, is to connect with people. Yeah, so.
It's all about, as we've talked before in previous episodes, creativity is all about always have an audience in most cases. And it's all about creating an experience that connects with them and provides some sort of impact on their lives, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's like inspiring them or helping them express themselves.
Yeah.
Now, let's get down to the nitty gritty. How does art inspire you? Tell us about you.
Oh, God.
I don't care about these surveys, I care about Tammy.
Oh gosh.
How has fine art inspired you recently? Does it inspire your work as a designer?
Well, yeah, I mean, I recently moved house and like had been redoing my studio space.
Okay.
And yeah, fair enough. Like you can fill it with furniture, which is, I mean, I like expressing myself, like how I dress or whatever. But yeah, I think in a way, yeah, it is a way of, it's an extension of me figuring out my personality, or like the different components of my personality. And
Eat, pray, loving yourself through art.
I guess so, though I
even know what
never
that
read
means.
that,
I don't even know what
nor
that
watched the
means.
movie.
Neither have I. Why did I say it? I don't know. You're discovering yourself through art.
Yeah, because I mean, like living in Toronto, it's quite easy to kind of be distracted. There are tons of distractions and great things going on all the time. But I think art, when you're in a room, whether you're on your own or with your partner or whoever, it's kind of like your time. And it's, I don't know. And I mean, I don't really have a full answer for it, but it does satisfy something that, you know, going out to a bar can't always satisfy, or like being busy going. I mean, I love yoga too. And like yoga kind of touches on that kind of deeper level of who you are, or showing people who you are, or whatever. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, art does something like that, I guess.
Could we all use a little bit more art in our lives, do you think?
Oh, I think so. I mean, not to again go back to studies, but I know for myself, this is also true, but in workplaces, there are studies that show, oh, people are so-and-so more efficient, or at least happier, because you're not just working in a sterile
My creativity has skyrocketed since I walked into the gallery, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
So it's awesome. It's a way to sort of, we've spoken before in past episodes, your environment defines your mood and
Oh,
inspires
totally,
you are.
yeah.
And so having an art piece that really speaks to you by an artist who maybe you've even met can absolutely inspire you in whatever it is that is your creative endeavor. So thank you very much, Tammy, for joining us.
Thanks so much, John.
Now, how should we find out about Partial, and like how do we find out about this?
Okay.
Is there a website?
There is a website.
What is it?
21st Century, we have a website.
Incredible. 2016.
Yeah, the URL is www.partial.gallery. Very new school.
Wow.
Partial.gallery. Yeah.
Partial.gallery, okay.
Yeah, and then we're on Instagram, partial.gallery as well. And yeah, or you can just email me. One email address there, hello@partial.gallery.
Hello
I'll
at
be there
partial.gallery.
answering you. Just
Maybe
like
even
my
now.
cell phone.
Maybe even right now. So thanks. Cheers, guys. Remember to subscribe to us on creativesmoothie.com, YouTube, iTunes, and SoundCloud. Cheers. See ya.
Exit music.
Featuring music mixed by DJ Corey Dawkins. For more, visit djcorey.dawkins.com.